My name is Dr. Chris Campbell. I'm a physical therapist and strength and conditioning specialist. Welcome to our exercise video series. Today I'm here to talk to you about dynamic stretching. Dynamic stretching has been proven to be a much better way for your body to get ready for whatever the activity you desire. The movements that occur during these warm-ups increase heat to your muscles, provides extra blood flow and oxygen, and wakes up the neurologic system. These movements will also enhance and maximize performance as well as reduce the risk of injury. Enjoy. So the first of the dynamic stretches is called knee hugs. With all of these stretches, really pay close attention to your posture. So the first thing with knee hugs is you're going to take both hands, grab your knee, pull it right up to your chest. Making sure that your shoulders, your hips, your knees are all in a line. As you get a little better, you can go a little quicker. And a little bit higher level, go up on your foot. A modification to this will be just tapping. For those of you who have a little trouble with your balance, turn a chair around, hold on to the back of the chair, still stand tall, and tap your knees. And those are the knee hugs with and without modifications. So the next dynamic stretch we're going to do are called ankle grabs, or quad stretches. They're performed like this. With both hands behind, you're grabbing your shoelaces, making sure your knee comes back, your heel comes to your butt. If you're having trouble with both hands, you can do it with one hand. First, try the opposite. Or the same side. If you're struggling with that, you can just tap behind. And don't worry if you don't actually touch. That's quite all right. And again, as with the others, if you're struggling with your balance, don't worry. Just turn a chair around, hold on to it, and just tap and bend your knees up. And those are ankle grabs or quad stretches. So the next of the dynamic stretches are called lateral lunges. This one has a few different components to it. The first one I'm going to demonstrate has two components to it, getting the adductors of the groin and the IT band. You're going to stand with your legs a little bit apart, step, bend one knee, lunge, step behind, reach over. Step, partial bend to the knee, cross behind, step over. One more time, here, and cross over. Now to get the other leg, step to the other way, bend the other knee. Now cross that right leg behind and reach over. Partial bend of the knee, step behind, reach over. The other component to this we call ground sweeps. We use this a lot for our athletes. Start with one foot, reach over, sweep the ground, go to the other. Feet together, spread them apart. Start with one, keep your chest up, sweep over, come together. Sweep, back the other way, sweep, back the other way, sweep, back the other way. So those are lateral lunges and ground sweeps. So the next of the dynamic stretches are called Frankenstein's or monster walks. These are targeting the hamstrings. So the first one we do is we reach with the opposite hand and foot. Keeping your posture upright, shoulders, hips. Don't bend over to touch your foot. The goal isn't to necessarily touch your foot. Then a variation to that is reaching with the same side. And a third variation to that is bending the knee and kicking. The balance variation is turn your chair around, hold on to it. Again, you don't necessarily need to touch your foot, but just kick it up. Keep that hand there the whole time. Don't worry about switching hands. And those are monster walks or Frankensteins. So the next dynamic stretch we're going to do are called Cradle Grabs or figure fours. These are to target our hip rotators and our piriformis. So the way these are done, variation 1, is grabbing your foot and your knee and pulling straight up. Again, really pay close attention to your posture. Grab your knee, your foot, and go straight up. Variation to that is just touch. Just touch. Keeping your posture upright. Don't worry, if you can't actually touch it, that's okay. It's more important to keep your posture up. The more advanced option is cross your leg and sit down. Cross your leg and partially sit down. The variation holding onto the chair, just touch. Just touch. And those are cradle grabs or figure fours. The next of the dynamic stretches are called step, lunge, field goal, and there's one variation to this one. So a proper lunge, step forward, your knee never comes out over your ankle, so you have to go down. The next part of it we call field goal as we come up to stretch our torso. Again, step 2, proper lunge, knee never comes over the ankle, go down, both hands up for field goal. Okay? One more time. Step, lunge, field goal. Step, lunge, field goal. A variation to get a little rotation into it. Step, lunge, rotate. Step, lunge, rotate. Step, lunge, rotate. For those of you that need balance, hold on to a chair. Spread your feet as far as you comfortably can without losing your balance. Just partially come down. Do 3, 4, or 5 on one side. Switch it up. 3, 4, or 5 on the other side. And those are step, lunge, field goal with variations. So next of the dynamic stretches is called the world's greatest stretch. This only really has one variation, and this is a higher level exercise, so don't feel like you need to do this one. Still, there's a lunge component to this one. Reach with the same side elbow, come down towards your ankle as far as you comfortably can. Step 2, lunge, elbow, same side, reach down. If you feel like you need to hold on for balance, you can do that. Again, step. The knee never comes out over the ankle. Elbow goes straight down. Keep your back posture straight. Step, come down. If you feel like you need to hold on for balance, you can. And that was the world's greatest stretch. So the next dynamic stretch we're going to do are primarily for the hips. We call these barn doors. You're going to bring your knee up, bring it out to the side, step it down. That's opening the door, bringing it back, closing the door. The other one, bring it here, bringing it down, and back again. We can also do this walking. So you come up, come back, come down, come up, come back, come up, come back, come up, come back. For those folks having trouble with your balance, just stand there. Make sure your posture is still upright. And those are barn doors. The next of the dynamic stretches are called standing tripods. These are primarily for your hamstrings. The leg that you're standing on, do your best to keep it straight. If you can't, bend it slightly towards the end. The other leg is going to stay straight in order to keep your back straight. Bend over, touch the ground. If you can't go all the way to the ground, that's okay. Do what we call airplanes. And those are standing tripods. So the next of the dynamic stretches are called hip swings. We're going to go in two different directions with these. It's usually best to hold on to something like a chair or a wall. First one we're going to do is swing the hip forward and back, doing your best not to compromise your posture. Okay, staying upright, swinging your leg about 10 or 15 times, then switch legs. Then turn it, and you're going to turn your body, and you're going to swing sideways. It might end up being a little diagonal pattern, that's okay, just don't twist your back a whole lot. And those are hip swings. So next of the dynamic stretches are called inchworms. This targets multiple parts of the body. Your calves, your hamstrings, your butt, your back, your shoulders. I like to start this one in a squat position. Squatting down, hands on the floor. Walk your hands out a little bit, straighten your legs as far as you comfortably can. Walk your hands out to a push-up or a plank position. Then walk your feet up as far as you comfortably can. Then walk your hands back out to that push-up plank position. Walk your feet up. Bend your knees, finish with a squat, and stand back up. And those are inchworms. The next dynamic warm-up exercise are heel walks and heel raises. These are to warm up the front shin muscle and your calf muscle. First one are heel walks. Basically step on your heels, holding your toes up. Keep your toes up the whole time. Again, step on your heels, hold your toes up. Okay, heel raises, just take a step. You can start by bringing both up. Or you could take a step and do it single leg. And lastly, if you have trouble with your balance, just hold on to your chair. Just take some steps in place, holding your toes up, or go up and down on your toes, raising your heels. And those are toe raises and heel walks.